Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. And today we're going to be talking about how exactly should you prepare for the Hydra, right? So Hydra's coming out soon. Seems like it's coming out very soon. I honestly thought it'd be out today, but you have 3 keys, you have 3 attacks. We don't know the difficulties, we don't know how it scales, we don't know what they expect us to be able to do to get rewards, you know. There's so many unanswered questions, right? And one of the things I noticed from their preview video is this kind of expectation that you're going to be able to take down a head. So I don't know how they're going to scale that. Is it going to be in line with like some of the dungeon bosses or the faction wars bosses or the Doom Tower bosses at hard, you know? Is it going to be like fighting 4 hard Doom Tower bosses at once? Or is it going to be like fighting 4 stage 20 dungeons bosses at once, you know? I don't know. And honestly, how you should be taking this is just kind of ignore it for the most part, because it's meant to be, I think, closer to kind of end game content. They're expecting you to have 18 champs maxed out and 6-starred for this, so you know most people won't be able to participate, right? Because it's 6 champs and then you can't use it once you've used the champs for that key. So yeah, you need to have 18 champs with pretty good synergy, like clan boss, dungeon boss level synergy, you know. And I don't know if I think it kind of distracts people from what needs to be done at the game itself, which is to get through content, make teams that progress your account, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're gonna have to do specific builds for Hydra, obviously, at some point. But for the most part, most people are gonna be running champs they already use in other places of the game, maybe even in Clan Boss, and they just add 1 champ. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna be like that. Whatever their Clan Boss team is right now, it's gonna be that plus 1 champ, depending on what that Clan Boss team does, unless it's an unkillable team. So really, it's so weird because I feel like maybe they can speed tune unkillable teams to make it work against Hydra boss. We don't know. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a nightmare to do with 4 different bosses, right? But I don't know. Somebody could figure something out. But in my opinion, it's almost 100% sure that none of the current clan boss tunes for unkillable will work on Hydra. That's like almost 100% certain. You're gonna have to change something up to make it work, even if they do find a way to make it work. So it seems like there's a little bit of a premium on just a regular old clan boss team, something with decreased attack, something with increased defense, with like sustain, you know, ally protect, you know. Although some of the bosses can take the buffs away, some of the bosses can do all sorts of things, like they're not hurt by poison as much. So we're gonna have to figure some things out for sure. But if you're kind of like mid-game ish, going to late game, or you just started farming Dragons 20 maybe, your like standard clan boss team with decreased attack and all the buffs and poison damage most likely is gonna be kind of like your main team for Hydra, one of your main teams for Hydra. So that takes care of 1 team for Hydra, right? The other 2 teams might be like your dungeon teams plus some champs that you build up over time, right? So obviously, the other big issue with Hydra Boss that I'm seeing right now is building up the right kind of damage dealing champs to decapitate the heads, right? So that is the challenge, since mid game to early late game accounts won't have that punch in their account, you know? So let's take a look at what some of their teams might look like, right? So let's go by rank. So if you started playing this year, so that means you have access to a lot of the fusion champs we've had this year. So if you started playing this year and you have some of the fusion champs for this year, I think a superstar is gonna be definitely under Priest Brogni, right? So that's like beyond a shadow of a doubt that under Priest Brogni is gonna be very, very good in Hydra Boss, I think. Another one that's going to be good is Iron Brago, which granted was January of this year. So if you started playing this year, maybe not as good for you. Ninja. Ninja is something of a bit of a mystery. So this attack 3 times by random thing. One of the Hydra bosses is weak against HP burn, but there's 4 of them now, you know, and I don't know. I don't know if Ninja can be as good against Hydra versus regular clan boss. Well, we'll see, right? Because there are going to be parts where the head will be decapitated, and you want to deal a lot of damage to that severed neck. But I don't know. I feel like Ninja might not be what we're looking for here, but Hernding definitely could be really good. So AoE is going to be good against Hydra because there's a lot of them, right? So if you happen to draw the head that limits the AoE damage, then you're going to have a single target attacker, right, to get rid of that. Demetha actually might be pretty cool. Even if that block damage just lasts a turn, it'll buy you some time to heal, to recover, to get rid of some debuffs. I think Demetha might be really, really good. So let's take a look at some of the other fusion champs that we may have gotten this year that could be good, that could come in, right? So Astralon hits really hard. So Hydra boss might be a boss that requires hard-hitting champs to be there. We don't know that yet, but I'm starting to think that might be the case if decapitation is going to be a thing. So one of the heads want Hex on. So you might have a team with Hex. That's where Ruel comes in. And you can actually partner Ruel with Vildrax, right? Because Vildrax puts Leech out, so that's pretty good. The other thing you can do is just ignore the Hex component of Ruel's build, because Ruel will put it on himself, right? So he'll do this thing of put increased accuracy and Hex on, right? And then fills his champion's turn meter by 50%. So you kind of get around to your hard-hitting attack with Hex on already on the opponents anyway. So Ruel doesn't really need a Hex enabler per se, right? Increased accuracy might be a thing, might not be a thing. We'll see. Who else do we get? Rorik, I'm not quite sure about with Rorik, honestly. So Rorik is kind of more of a control type champ, and I don't think the Hydra is really this ignore 50% depth thing. Maybe it'll come into play. I'm not sure, but the control parts of the build. Same thing with Vlad. Vlad is meant to be like a single target nuker, you know. I think he does have an AoE though on this second one with the Leech. So AoE Leech might actually be good against Hydra boss. So that might be a thing. I think this guy is gonna be pretty good against Hydra boss, right? So weekend against Orc and Ogrin. They should have done Orc and Ogrin and bosses. That would have been great, but whatever. They didn't do it. So AoE decreased def is gonna be good against Hydra boss. That's gonna be a thing. But really, your superstars from clan boss are gonna be amazing. So Tyrell is gonna be amazing. Stag Knight definitely is gonna be better than Tyrell because this is an AoE, the decreased defense and the decreased attack. That's a new one. I think Dark Gale will be good. Dark Gale will be pretty good because you got the AoE decrease attack, and then the poisons though is just one at a time, so that's kind of a bummer a little bit. So maybe even if you're looking to put poisons out, something like Taurus. Is it Taurus? What's his name? He's a magic affinity. Yeah, Taurus, Toxic Nova, bring a reviver in the team. You know, he puts unkillable on himself, so reviver / healer. And you put a lot of poisons everywhere. That could be a thing. See, pretty sure Sepulcher is going to be great still. That passive's still good. Block debuff, increased def, decreased attack is still good. So everything that works in typical clan boss teams, I think will work pretty well with Hydra boss, but you'll need a damage dealer type dude. So, is Septimus going to be a thing again? Right? I don't know. We'll see. Pretty sure all the bosses now have that like almighty passive where they ignore the enemy max HP damage. I'm not sure if that is going to be a way to decapitate some of the heads. I don't even... We don't know. I'm not sure if there's info out on the turn meter manipulation of the bosses. I'm pretty sure you can't manipulate the turn meter like clan boss, but we never know. Drexstar might be pretty good because HP burn is always good, right? I'm not very sure about Vizix in clan boss, honestly, especially if you built her for hard Doom Tower already. But yeah, you're gonna have to scrounge up 18 champs. So in my opinion, the level 50s are the ones that you use in Faction Wars already that are pretty good. So there are some good ones I got for Faction Wars right here, like Hofferese. He's good as a reviver. Achak, I use her for Faction Wars. It's a pretty good reviver as well. What other Faction Wars stand out here? Good. At level 50. I think I've kind of like leveled up a lot of my Faction Wars champs already over time. Rosin, I think, is going to be a superstar in Hydra boss for sure. You know. So somebody like Duke would be great too. This AoE, decreased attack, decreased defense. The problem is really going to be the 18 cap is going to be the big problem for a lot of people early on. And honestly, I think that's fine because this is not a game where you just level up 10 champs and you rock through the game. It's possible, but it's unlikely. So the game really is about leveling champs out and making comps that fit well with the champs you've leveled up. So it's very, very possible that this could be a nice little reward for playing the next year through the fusion events. That's kind of like my bottom line right now. My bottom line right now is it doesn't really change what I plan to do next year because I was going to do that anyway. But if you're on the fence on following this plan, I think Hydra and Clan Boss, because I originally announced that I was going to do this thing next year where we're going to try to build an Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team next year with just the fusion champs or things we pull from the fusion champ shards. But I'm gonna focus more on the fusion champs, of course. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Of course, it's hard to make a guarantee like that. We don't know what the fusion champs will look like. We don't know how the power creep will be tamed or not. But I figure that we can do it, combined with the guaranteed shards. So if they do more guaranteed champs, I think they'll give us some guaranteed champs with some actual power. and I think it'll we can make a Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team out of that. In the same vein, can you imagine having 12 legendaries by the end of the year, and you can pick from those to build for your Hydra team? That's kind of what's going to happen if you participate in all the fusion events. But you'll have a head start if you're playing right now, because you're already going to have Alexander. And I think Alexander could be pretty good for Hydra, right? Because you get this plus 60 aura, right? So you can kind of be a little bit stingy on the accuracy on your other guys to build them with more damage, more staying power, right? More speed. And this one removes all buffs from the target. That's going to come in with one of the bosses. So one of the bosses steals all the buffs. This is a direct counter that takes all the buffs away before he can spread the buffs to everybody else. So as long as this is on cooldown, when he does the move, you take it away, and that's it. You don't need books on this to make it work. You need books on this skill. That's the unfortunate part. But still, I think Alexander does give you a nice head start for Hydra, in my humble opinion. So, preparation for Hydra is really not really to prepare, right? Play the game and build teams to beat what's out here right now, and you'll be shocked how well you can build synergistic teams for Hydra when Hydra does come out. Like, I almost guarantee that by the time you're able to get through significant chunks of the content, stage 20 dungeons everywhere, at least beating hard Doom Tower floor 40, right? I think that's a nice little like end game goal for people to have. Nightmare Clan Boss for sure. Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, if you're there, great. If you're not, that's fine as well. But yeah, if you hit those benchmarks, I have a feeling the champs you have, you'll be able to form a pretty decent Hydra boss team. But we'll see. We'll see how endgame the Hydra boss is, because there's like difficulties and stuff. So we'll see how endgame it actually is, right? So this is more like a calm down, bros type thing, you know, like calm down, bros. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. All right, we'll see y'all.